Yes, indeed. Sorry for the very late start. We'll tell you why. But this is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. My name is Julius J. We're right here. 5 o'clock. George Judah Wisner will join us. Talking international relations, the different moves so far that have been made by the U.S. government. Where does Liberia find itself? What can we do? What does it mean for international corruption fight, international aid, self-actualization, and all of that? 4:30. A paid for segment we'll talk about brokering, custom brokers. We'll have a company right here. Before that, all of the things that matter. A whole lot is happening around here. From the judiciary to the legislature to the executive, everybody has some part to play right on this edition. All of the issues that are consequential for the people. Bomi County as well. From the educational sector. So welcome. Indeed, that's what it is right here, right now. So we'll take a quick break with some of our sponsors. We will not do one of what we usually do because of the time that is quite fast spent. Let's make some money with some of our sponsors right here.
Liberia, the sun is shining, and so are your opportunities to enjoy 24 hours current with Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Why let the power of the sun go to waste when you can make use of it to generate current for your home, business, or community? With our state-of-the-art solar panels, you will enjoy 24 hours uninterrupted power, reliable energy, a greener, cleaner Liberia. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution offers top quality, durable, and affordable solar panels designed for Liberia's sunny climate. So why wait? Call us today on 0772 262584 or visit our showroom, Claratown or Umako Building adjacent the RB Bank. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Let's power your future with the sun together.
The Banking Institute of Liberia, the training arm of the Liberia's Bankers Association and the Central Bank of Liberia, announces the commencement of its professional training program in the following categories. Professional development training. This targets graduate and seniors and degree holders. Courses we offered include microfinance, banking and finance, public accounting and finance, audit and internal controls, procurement and supply chain management, monitoring and evaluation, compliance and corporate risk management, work planning and report writing, office administration and organization management, customer service and human resource management, project planning and management, and computerized accounting, which includes QuickBooks, Excels, and Tally. Duration for this program is 3 months. Tuition is just US $275. The second program covers business development training. The Banking Institute of Liberia also offers training for high school graduates and college students in small business development and management and microfinance management. Duration for this program is just 2 months. Tuition stands at $205. All of our fees are payable in 3 installments. Training program at the Banking Institute of Liberia are facilitated by bank executives and financial experts. BRL is committed to providing professional training to all of its clients at international standards. For more information, visit the Institute's office on Warren and Kerry Street's intersection in the old microfinance building of the Central Bank of Liberia. Banking Institute of Liberia, the Center of Excellence in Banking and Financial Management Training.
Service, internet service, fast, reliable service for your home and your office. Unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose Connect. 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 Choose Connect. 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 Choose Connect. 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 Choose Connect.
Indeed, welcome back. The OK Conversation is right here. Let's take our fact check segment with our partners, Local Voices Liberia. And after that, we'll be back.
Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On February 10, entitled House Speaker Fonati Kofa claimed in a Facebook post that Liberians in the United States remitted approximately US 800 million, an amount he said was higher than the 2023 national budget. A personal remittance is a transfer of money or goods between a household in one country and a household in another country. It can also refer to the income of people who work abroad for short periods of time. To verify this claim, we began verifying the source that Councillor Kofa relied on and found that the screenshot he shared was taken from Statista, a global data platform which showed that the total inflow of personal remittances to Liberia in 2023 amounted to US 800 million. However, the data did not specify that this money came solely from the United States. A further review of the 2023 Central Bank of Liberia's annual report revealed that inward remittances to Liberia were US 801.8 million, which included money sent from all countries and not just the US alone. Based on this information, we conclude that a claim made by embattled House Speaker Fonati Kofa that Liberians in the US remitted approximately US 800 million in 2023 is misleading. The US 800 million remitted to Liberia in 2023 came from all countries, not the US alone. However, Kofa was correct in noting that the amount was higher than the national budget. On February 10, Councillor Moriah Yekula Kokpok posted on her Facebook page claiming that the Liberty Party is the first political party in Liberia to have both a female chairperson and a female political leader. She made the claim following the climax of the opposition Liberty Party's annual convention with the election of Representative Ruchi Barry as chairperson of the party, with Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanka Lawrence as political leader of the party. To verify this claim, we conducted research into Liberia's political landscape. Our findings from available data show that the claim is indeed correct. While several political parties in Liberia have had female leaders or chairpersons in the past, no party has held both a female political leader and a female chairperson until Labour Party's recent developments. Historically, the Unity Party was the first to elect a female political leader, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. However, the chairperson of the Unity Party during her tenure was male. On the other hand, Senator Yompi Kanka Lawrence was the first female chairperson of a Liberian political party, but her party's political leader was not a female. It is important to note that while other political parties have had female leaders or chairpersons, no party has had both roles occupied by women until the Labour Party's current structure. Therefore, Councillor Moriah Yekula Kokpal's claim that the Labour Party is the first political party in Liberia to have both a female political leader and a female chairperson is correct based on available data. This is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, Orchid FM, Pram FM, and Cool FM to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision, leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Friday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. If you want us to fact check claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0777 556 296 and we will definitely check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, Twitter at LVF Fact Check, and go to our website www.localvoicesliberia.com. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Okay, welcome. Welcome. I thought King will be here. We'll talk about insurance brokers, the company insurance brokerage services. We'll talk about what they do, why are they necessary, especially for those of you who want to get involved in exporting, importing, and all of those kinds of things. Very important. That's at 4:30. At 5 o'clock, we go into a big discussion with George Wisner. So yeah, we were in the New Georgia area where I joined other media colleagues to have a special interview with ANC political leader Alexander Cummings, which ran from 12 up to going to 2. And then after that, I had to make my way here. For a very long time, I have not used the Gardnersville Freeport Road to come to town. I haven't done that for a very long time. Whatever made me to use that road today was a terrible decision. Because you will come. You know, I came through Do Community Claratown, and by the time you get right at that intersection, you get stuck in this blatantly inclement traffic for over an hour. Yeah, that's why we're somehow a little late on today. We apologize for that. We'd like to be here earlier. So that is it. A whole lot has been happening. We saw Champions League qualifications last night, the first legs. Real Madrid doing what Real Madrid do, you know, and that is to be very nearly predictable in the Champions League. Like games that you think are against them, that they will somehow draw or win. That kind of predictability of the Champions League, as if it is their property, Even if they are underwhelming in their performances and whatever, they just turn up, and that's what they did against Man City last night. You also saw Juventus having a win, Borussia Dortmund as well, Paris Saint Germain, all of them having some wins. So yeah, the issues are so many. Um, So the Liberty Party at the weekend, they've been on this long road, a long drive to reconciliation. As I've always described them, from time to time, they've been this classic urbane, kind of. They they are not the very extremist or quite polarized political party like the CDC or the Unity Party. They are not at the extremes of like those two parties. They always find a way to be in the middle somewhere there. Sometimes objective, sometimes professionals, different people could choose to join those kinds of political parties, right? Yeah, but they've not been able to break through and win an election, and then the late chancellor passed, and there was this turmoil. What do they do? Who do they support? 2023, a serious fracture appeared, and one side went this way, the other side went this way. Different people found different ways to go. It was quite a feud. It was something unthinkable. Well, after the election, cooler heads started to prevail, and they felt like, okay, let's mend our broken pieces. Let's mend them. We are a party. We were not just organized to be supporting people and all of that. We are a political party. We should win election. We think we have some of the solutions to Liberia's problems, right? So they came back together. Some people gave way, including former Chairman Ability. And so, yeah, the culmination of that drive, that unity drive, was what they held, and different speeches were made, and it is a good thing, they should self-actualize. They should experience what they should experience. I don't think they should make people angry that they are coming back together. People should not feel threatened. Even if somebody in Liberty Party has an ambition to be president, what is wrong with that? It's a political party. Even if all of you support the Unity Party, President Joseph Boakai, it does not mean other people can have ambition. It does not mean when you people are in the same government, you can't have ambitions. The problem with all of that is, if you all start to fight each other now, then you affect the government, then you lower your chances of any of you winning. So the smartest thing you can have, people can have ambitions. They are constitutionally right to do so. The expression of the ambition should not undermine, should not fight each other. It won't serve you right. That's what is happening. Some of you are sponsoring people to fight other people, those kinds of things. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, usually there's Japanese rice stuff. They usually give rice, then the government sells it to do a particular project. I've not heard much, since the government came to power. I know the last time we talked about it here. I hope we are on course to get that. That's that aid too. That's aid from Japan. That's Japan aid. I hope, because I know around this time, certain processes supposed to be in motion to get this done. I hope we are on course. The indications I'm getting are not okay. They are hazy. And we hope the right things can be done speedily, because this has helped. Some of the markets that were built here with Japanese phones came from these kinds of things. Different projects are earmarked. So we are hoping by tomorrow we'll come with more detailed information. And we hope the government is doing what it is supposed to do. So the president has been flexing his muscles. Yesterday was Armed Forces Day. It's not Armed Forces Day. Yeah? It is not ARM. If you put ED there, it doesn't look okay. Then you talking about this one here on my shoulder, Armed Forces. Yeah. So yeah, it is always good to say Armed Forces Day. So congratulations to the men and women in arms. I know we had the Sierra Leonean president here as a guest speaker. Different things were talked about, and people say, "Oh, it's not important. It's not significant." For the first time, I think in recent years, from the time I started following Armed Forces Day, 2000 something. From Ellen to Weird, I'm not sure. I don't know if in the past we had that. We have a small army, so the tradition has been to walk for the president to inspect the troops, walking and all of that. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So last year could not be held. It was attributed to the situation with the AFL women, that led to blocking of the road and all of that, quite a serious situation. This year we saw the president using a pickup to inspect the troops, and the controversies and there, media, social media. But I was not surprised. I was not surprised. I was in Nigeria when the president, when they know that welcome ceremony they can have. Yeah, they did it for him. And just a few members of the Nigerian army were there to welcome him. The way he inspected them, the way he walked, I knew there's a problem. There may be some mobility issues. That is a reality. It is not a bad thing for people to talk about it. Some will be derisive, making fun and all of that. Well, all of that comes with the democratic terrain. But the reality is there is an issue. If there was not an issue, the president wouldn't have used a car. There is an issue with his mobility, his movements. That's the reality. So, yeah, using that was, I believe, a security and protocol advice. Mr. President, we can't allow you walk this long to inspect the troops. The sun is hot. We can't allow you walk this long. And blah blah blah. Or he himself could have said, "Well, I don't think I have the ability to walk that long." You don't want issues. So there is an issue, and because of the issues, the best way is to find a way around it, and that is what they did. But you can't brush it off to say you're looking for pictures all around how North Korean president, South Korean, Chinese president inspected you in car. You're talking. Countries that have millions of people in their army, how who can walk to pass our 1 million people? So no, and that's why I use the word role reversal. During the CDC days, in fact, let me go back to Ellen. During Ellen time, the internet was not that pervasive and all of that. Every small thing Ellen did, the people would say international best practice. International best practice, how it's done in America, how it's done in other places. CDC time, the internet became more pervasive. Anything they did or anything President we did, the defense was to go look for picture or video somewhere else that it happened. Oh, it happened here too, And the opposition would say, no, we're talking about Liberia and blah, blah, blah. The opposition came to power. They're in power. And every small thing, as soon as you talk, boom, they go to the thing. So that role reversal. What CDC was doing as government is the same thing. And when they were in opposition, that they were against. So the roles have now changed. So CDC goes into opposition and beat on them. Then they go look for pictures too. So, and then what CDC was against Is what the government too is against now. Role reversal. Not much changes. It doesn't help the discourse. But there are always realities. There are always realities. So we just needed to brush that by. Now, I was talking about the president flexing his muscles. And he's been doing that. You know, let me tell you all in officialdom. To govern countries like Liberia going forward will be tough for anybody. The advent of social media. The advent of social media, and not just the advent of it, but the increasing use and dependability of the people on social media makes governance tougher. So while we the journalists, someone may send me information for an example and say, oh, so a person doing corruption as a journalist because of my journalistic ethics and all that kind of thing I got to investigate. And sometimes you can hear us saying, okay, we have this, but because we are required by the profession to do certain things before coming up, that thing we can be doing. Human beings naturally have each ear. They just want to see something. But whether it's correct or it's not correct, they don't want to know. There are activists on social media. There are different people. They can just jump up with that one piece of thing. Oh, minister this or this is that is corrupt. That document is out. The pressure. They start to pressure the government, the president. And actions are taken. So in officialdom, I always say there will be issues. There will always be issues, right? But how you manage the issues is very important. So, first of all, we all follow this story from NPHRL. President Joseph Boaga has suspended Dr. Adams Lincoln, Deputy Director General for Administration at the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, with immediate effect. This decision follows a review of allegations regarding the unauthorized removal of NPHRL property and a resolution from the Board of Directors. Some of those people were penalized by the institution. Those who were at the level for the administration to penalize them. This appointee here now, who was allegedly a part of all of this, has been suspended by the president. Dr. Lincoln's suspension is indefinite without pay and benefits, pending the outcome of an investigation by the Board of Directors, the General Services Agency, and the Liberia National Police. In the interim, all institutional assets in his possession are to be turned over to Mr. Mohammed Kiadi, who will serve as Acting Deputy Director General for Administration. President Boaga reaffirms his administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and good governance in all public institutions. If you're already looking like you're Osacha, and the pressure will mount on the government from media to social media and everywhere else, then you should behave. You should behave when you are in officialdom. Because a whole lot of these things were criticized in the past. And people will remind the president, people will call upon him, people will write, people will talk. So, in the purview of the president, very good action, right? Yeah, very good action. Then, there's one part, we for almost a year now, we have talked and talked. The president, he get time, then he get time, then they get time for people to declare assets, which he should not have been doing in the first place. That first time he was supposed to penalize, and he did it. So it is a belated action that is still okay. It is still commendable in the fact that action is being taken. The problem is, that was delaying of the law almost a year. Babysitting people. It's like they were waiting for certain people to declare assets. And they both declare, and I said, okay, now can we penalize? Because President Joseph Boaga Sr. has immediately suspended all government officials who failed to declare their assets within the required time frame. This action is in accordance with Article 2, Section 10.2-ish of the Act to amend Section 5.2 and Section 10.2 of the 2014 Code of Conduct, and follows the President's directive issued on November 27, 2024. That was a 10-day ultimatum. granting a 10-day grace period for compliance. 27 to 7. After that, a whole 2 months pass before taking action. So, from where the time the government came to power, people declare assets, should have declared assets before working and all working after 30 days and all that stuff that they did not do it. No action was taken. Then we thought. Then they went to cabinet retreat. The president said, "Y'all go declare." He begged them. They still did not declare. Then he came November 27 again. Boom. Some of them still didn't declare. So they are taking actions against them. As part of this directive, all suspended officials must immediately turn over government assets to compliant heads of agencies, their designees, or authorized personnel within their respective institutions. So you are suspended for 1 month without pay. Others say you all should have been fired. I want to agree with those people. You should have been fired because the president himself was really joking with you people, babysitting you people, and all that kind of thing. So, almost a year, you still don't declare. Then what are you doing in government? You don't want to be there. Too many people are here to work. You are supposed to be moved. But anyways, so LACC now supposed to publish a list. They have done that. But I have serious problems with the LACC list. It is error proof. In fact, it has errors all inside it. It is poorly done. It doesn't appear like it comes from LACC. The commissioners, you the commissioners of LACC, you both saw that list, and you approve it for it to be published. Really? That was one of the poorest pieces of work that can come from any anti-graft agency. Poorly structured. Looking at someone who is Mrs. or Mrs. Mr. Giving people titles that they do not have. Jobs they do not have. You put it in front of them and all of that. No. That was terrible. We are charging the LA. So how can we be sure? Say the people's names we are publishing are the ones who are not compliant. Why if someone did and you did not properly update and all of that with all those errors? So you all please work on it. That's why I will not read it. When you all work on it and we show that you people have worked on it, then we'll read. But whatever the case is, you all know who the people are. But it's a very poor piece of document, and we do not want to waste our time on it. Up Capitol Hill. Let me go bombing first, then I'll come up Capitol, because this is very important. Our Bombing County correspondent is reporting that C.H. Dewey Central High School in Topmanburg, Bombing County, is grappling with a significant teacher shortage in 4 critical or crucial subjects: English, mathematics, economics, and history, raising concerns among students and school administrators as the West African Senior Secondary School Examination WAS approaches. According to the school's acting principal, Alexander Doe, the absence of teachers in these subjects has sparked repeated complaints from students who fear the impact on their academic performance. Doe described the situation as worrisome, particularly given the fast approaching WAS. He revealed that the Ministry of Education had formally informed him about the retirement of the school's mathematics teacher, leaving students without instruction in the subject. As for the other subjects, the principal noted that the school lacks qualified instructors to fill the vacancies. He urged the relevant authorities to address the issue urgently to prevent further setbacks in students' academic progress. The shortage of teachers at C.H. Dewey Central High School underscores broader challenges within the education sector, particularly in ensuring qualified instructors are available to guide students through their studies. So there's a serious situation there. Ministry of Education, hopefully tomorrow we'll speak with the ministry on this development. Very important. Students are going to school, 4 crucial, critical subjects are left unattended, no teachers for them. These are the very important, significant things we also talk about on this show. Education of our children, of the younger population, is very important. It should claim the attention of the Ministry of Education. It is your role. It is our responsibility. And then we can call in the legislature for oversight. If this issue cannot be resolved in the soonest, perhaps the authorities of the ministry, both in the county and at the national level, should be invited to tell us why a high school in Tubmanburg, Bummy County, perhaps I think that's the only government high school in Tubmanburg. I think so. I don't know if there is another government high school. I think that's the only one high school there for government in Tubmanburg. I didn't say the whole Bummy. I believe. So this one high school here doesn't have these teachers. Why? So you all should work on that and resolve it in the soonest, very soonest possible time. Okay. Let's hear from Justice Bese. Capitol Hill saga. We told you all that saga looked like it was not going away. We want to add other thoughts to this. Let's hear from him.
You know, some time ago, when we did not turn out for the president address, they begin more of a news than the address itself. That was the common way of trying to avoid getting involved in potential conflict. You remember conflict going at the House, the Supreme Court, when they appeared before us, we made a decision. And the effect of that decision was that, look, our law required that the House should have the quorum, and that quorum should be presided over by a speaker. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there, so whatever you do, ultra-viral. Otherwise, it's illegal. We turn to the minority black, say, minority black, the law says, until you can get majority, get quorum, you must continue to adjourn from day to day and compare the other people to join. But there is no statute that tells you how you will compare the people. You don't have a rule that tells you how you will compare the people. So you two will remain there until you get majority. Whatever you do is ultra-viral. So on the both sides, the Supreme Court clearly saying that go and solve your problem. We don't have law to that effect. We are don't our own. We're not in control of politics. If for some reason the Senate decide to recognize majority black, President recognize majority black, and government function is going on, then we receive an invitation from the Speaker. Our question is, our presence there means that we are recognized one side of it. So the best thing to do was to remain who we are. That was the rationale. Many people don't understand, but that was the right course.
Okay. So that's the Justice in Chambers. Yeah, he has been over this case. And I think Clarence did an excellent analysis. I just want to add to that. I'm not going to go way back into everything, but I just want you to take note of a few things. There were different cases before the Supreme Court, one of which had to do with embattled Speaker Funati Kofa saying that he wasn't given due process in what the term as removal and all of that. And then the ultra-virus thing came up. Then they all went back. And within that time, the majority bloc voted Richard Kun as Speaker. Representative Richard Kun as Speaker. Then the executive will recognize after the what? Justice Minister had done his interpretation. Then all kinds of things happened. Budget and all those kinds of things passed. Then State of the Nation address came. Now, so the justice in Chambers up to the time the case went to them, they recognize Funatikova is a speaker by law or was speaker by law. They recognize that the other side had a majority. So accordingly, they send them back to sort their issues out. So the majority chose to sort the issues out by themselves making a speaker, voting a speaker. The SONA occurred after a new speaker was elected by the majority. Follow my reasoning. And the Supreme Court was aware of that. He has been speaker by the majority bloc, right? Then the SONA comes and they are invited by that speaker. And they say, according to his explanation, they cannot go because they still believe the issue is not solved. When is he speaking? He is speaking, or he was speaking last week at the opening of court in Nimba County. Our correspondent had even sent me the write-out. It's just by that time we couldn't do the show last week. He sent me the write-out of what he said and all those kinds of things. Follow my reasoning. So, in the wisdom of the people who we say should guide our law process, should interpret our law, when we carry cases to them, they should judge it. The man who has been the first line of contact when you carry your case to the Supreme Court, explaining why they did not go to the SONA, says the majority bloc still doesn't have a speaker. So in their wisdom, the issue they send them back to resolve is not still resolved. That means the processes, he says the minority, they get speaker. So they still recognize Fonati as a constitutional legal speaker until what they are supposed to do, they can do to legally remove him and then have an election to elect a new speaker. That's why he's saying in effect. And so because of that, they did not want to go. And the question is, why couldn't that be made quite explicit in the ruling? Or when the bill of information was filed, why haven't they responded? It is true, it is a right to or not to, but where there is clear and present chaos, misunderstanding, we believe the intervention of the court is very important. And this has led to a representative leading people to one of the offices in the line, the office of the speaker, to vandalize it, to break into it without a court order. Without a court order. I wonder how Representative James could have felt being there. Why all the other lawmakers, nobody was there. He alone with these carpenters and different people on a holiday, put his face there. Different things have been happening at that capital. So where were the police that usually prevent people from going into offices, into other people's offices and all of that? The police were not there. And we saw vandalism on live camera. A country that we say we don't have enough. We don't have enough. We cry for everything. But we're able to destroy property. And he was saying, oh, they will renovate, they will do this and that, and blah, blah, blah. officer, it's very okay for somebody to just move in. But just because the right things are not being done, have not been done. So we keep making mockery and a shame of ourselves. How can a lawmaker get involved in that? If a court orders, the sheriff, the police are the ones that were sent to effect. It will not even be you. If I were in somebody's house or on someone's land, and we're fighting what the land, I say the land for me, the person say the land is for them, we go to court, and the court says this land is for that person. Mr. My man, we gave you from now to February 28th. By the 28th, you should be removed, or you'll be removed. Because by March 1st, people are supposed to move from there. If I don't move from there, it is not even that person that took me to court that will come physically to remove me. That police people will come. But you see, these are the kinds of things that happen. Problematic. So the Supreme Court itself did not do the population well. If they want to fix it, let them properly fix it, not just from a speech delivered by the justice in chambers to tell us their thinking. They should do it in a response to the Bill of Information. That, okay, since all of you are here and there, because he states clearly that for whatever reason the Senate recognized majority and executive recognized majority, well, for us, we don't. And about we didn't go there because we don't want to favor one side. He made it clear. And they, when it comes to interpretation of law, the legislature, the Senate in this case, and the executive do not have that power. It does not lie in their purview. It is in the purview of the judiciary to do so. You know, and our men will put up something, and people were, I saw some people quoting Article 38, the actions of Representative Collet, and the majority, because he said he was ordered to do so. A guy will put it up now. So Article 38 says each house shall adopt its own rules of procedure in force order, and with the concurrence of 2/3 of the entire membership may expel a member for cause. Each house shall establish its own committees and subcommittees, provided, however, that the committees on revenues and appropriation shall consist of one member from each county. All rules adopted by the legislature shall conform to the requirements of due process or law laid down in this Constitution. The law that in the Constitution say you should take law in your own hand. All your rules, anything you will do, even as a legislature, as much as you have enforcement power to enforce your procedures, your rules to suspend, expel, all of what you will do should conform to the requirements of due process. Due process. All law laid down in this Constitution. That's Article 38. So for a lawmaker who is also a student of law to have done what he did without a court order, on live camera, vandalize an office, the third highest office in the land. It is not about who is there. Let's put Funatikova aside, Let's put him aside. But that was vandalizing the third, and people not seeing it that way. You don't see what we're doing to ourselves? How is that different from people getting vexed and going to police station and say, oh, maybe someone did something in the community and the police doing their duty and people rush and go boing, police station or stone police station and damage things. How is that different from what we saw yesterday? How is it different? How? That office is not Fonati's inheritance. It's not Richard Kuhn's inheritance. It's not anybody's inheritance. When the right things are done, the person who is speaker will occupy it with ease. No need for rush. No need for fighting. No need for setting the wrong precedents. So now the office is damaged and Fonati stuff pulled out. Supreme Court justice say they still see Fonati as the speaker. That the majority doesn't have a speaker. This man is speaking just last week. And they are the ones that we turn to when it comes to law issues. But we destroy an office. Some of the lawmakers were calling for them going to court and getting a court order to evict. But no, that could not be followed. Just take everything as it is. That's why we used to destroy things. We tell young people, we tell aggrieved people, if even car kills someone, you shouldn't burn the car. Don't do mob justice. But we saw a lawmaker on live TV doing mob justice. A lawmaker applying mob justice. No anger whatsoever. Because it's okay. It suits our interests. A lawmaker leading mob justice. Power. Just for power. To prove power. Unbridled power. You see, power without control is problematic. It's dangerous. It can be deleterious to any society. And that is what you see. We could not see police to say, hey, no. This is government property. The police could not go there to stop government property from being destroyed. No, they couldn't. They could beat on lawmakers. They could prevent lawmakers from joining their colleagues up that same Capitol Hill. They prevented lawmakers from trying to force and censure to spoil government property. They did that. They could not on live TV. A lawmaker using mob justice to destroy something, they could not go there to stop him because it suits. You know, we that's how we destroy countries. We destroy the psyche of the country. Other people will come tomorrow and say, these other people did it, so we can do it too. Even if the law is on your side, we are told, don't take it in your own hands. Is that not what you people tell us? Whether you lawmakers or you government, is that what government tells us? Even if the law is on your side, don't take it in your own hands. So let's say the law is on the majority side, all of that. How is it not taking it in its own hands to lead people? You know, we'll continue to play our part. To always speak to the conscience of the nation, because there is always a tomorrow and we will remind people. You know, that's why I'm unafraid to say things that are true, because in the end it can come back. You can disagree today, you can say whatsoever, but it always comes true. And that's why it is. 777-700-995. 555-995-995. If this is the Liberia that we want, then no problem. And we'll see where it goes. And fathers, and religious people, different people in the country, you all cannot be sitting down and allowing these things to pass. We cannot be allowing these things to pass. You're sitting and not talking. Tension of all kind, building up. Okay. 700-995-555-995. Let's see. The international line is there. Please, they will put it up. Or it is already up for you to call on WhatsApp or direct. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julius.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm advocating and calling for MTA compound. Yeah, so the way you are talking, I don't know how the judge said. You don't say that the majority does not have a speaker. Why you never play a voice? He never said that.
Oh, he never said
He never said that. No, he never said that.
He didn't say.
If you are attending the sooner, he says you are attending the sooner, we are taking star. That does not mean that the majority does not have a speaker.
Okay, can you stay on the line? Let me play it again.
On the radio.
My man,
You
wait
cannot
now.
afford information on the radio.
Stop fighting now. What are you fighting for?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you support this CDC,
Hello.
we know, everybody in the whole country knows you are citizen.
Okay, can you stay on the line? Let me play it.
Yeah, play.
Okay.
You know, some time ago, when we the national for the president address, they begin move of news and the address itself. That was the common way of trying to avoid getting involved in potential conflict. You remember conflict going at the House, the Supreme Court, when they appeared before us, we made a decision, and the effect of that decision was that, look, our law required that the House should have a quorum, and that quorum should be presided over by a speaker. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do...
What did you hear?
Otherwise...
What did you hear just now?
The majority block without a speaker is anti-power, and also the speaker black are meeting and they don't have phone and also virus. And
you say, hold on now, Chief. And you say, hello.
Yeah.
And you say, I was lying, the man didn't say it.
But you lying.
But I'm lying, huh? Okay, see you. Welcome, let's hear you. Yeah.
Thank you for putting me the opportunity.
Go on.
I want to say thank you to Ambassador Waka. In the first place, we that voted for Ambassador Waka will still remain his supporters. What I want to say to him, he should not listen to those frustrated citizens who think that the country belongs to them. What I can say to him, you, Julius, yeah, recently Ambassador Waka did a groundbreaking right to pick on here 200 bedrooms for the disabled community. But I never heard you talking about that.
But then again, we are loud because it is even on my Facebook page.
So let me make my point now.
You see how y'all can lie. It is even on my Facebook page right now. So agree first that you lie.
Hey, Julius, let me make my point.
No, you can. You will not make that point without agreeing that you lie.
Okay. Let me make my point, Julius.
Okay, see you. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hold on to the line there. You that on the line. Let me take this one. This person was on first. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Julius. My name is El Orlando Boris Press. I call you from my single office. Julius, I listen to you, deliberating on vital issues in our society. And in your last statement, you said, where are the religious leaders? Yes, Julius, where are the religious leaders? Where the church? Some of us, we feel so bad today because for me, I will be particular. Our church, we know, the United Methodist Church, and I will add the Catholic Church. Those two churches, when we were coming up, the voices of those bishops are the ones we used to hear dominating the society. Those guys were brave to every time there was a misstep. They were available and ready to stand up to the president or to anybody who was involved. Where are they today? Especially for our church. The Bishop Arthur Kula. When we had Arthur Kula around, the Methodist church was a voice that everybody wanted to hear. What the Methodist church about today? Where is our church? When our church is lingering in the same thing that the national government is doing. So where the church? So when you're looking for people to speak, lead churches, they know traditional leader and other people than judge in this country right now.
Thanks.
It's difficult. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly for your call. Let's see who's coming from this side. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, my good friend and brother Julius. This is Jose.
Yeah.
I'm calling you from Cardwell.
Go ahead.
No, Julius, that the job that you're in is a difficult one.
No, you think I got time for that thing?
It's a difficult one.
You can't see me alive.
Do you even know when they say who can speak truth to power? You hate it, so you hate it, so. The truth is the truth. But Julius, here is the point. I was listening to you. Look, the disappointment, I put it into back, a challenge. If the way Mr. Colette went over there and damaged that place, the speaker go there and prepare that place. If the other people say we're going to go about that place, the security that you never see in this country, you will see it there.
Okay, you went off by yourself. Let's take this international one. Welcome, let's hear you.
Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
I like when you said the sonar was heard, but like you said, I mean, it is wrong. We condemned it yesterday when the common people died, like you said, if they go to the police station to burn the police station, we condemn it. We must equally so condemn, even though they are our friends, they are our brothers. But we should stand up and tell them this is wrong. We should not move the country like this. We are leaders. There are young people, a lot of them that see us as role models. Doing these things, we are setting bad precedents. We don't want to keep doing this to Liberia. We are harming Liberia. How long are we going to take harming this country? And I like when you said this is deleterious to Liberia. It is harmful. It's dangerous. It's a bad precedent we setting. And this is what makes your job difficult, because your own best friends, when they go wrong, you deal with them. When they do good, you say it. And this is one of the toughest parts of your job. But however,
that's it. But thanks so kindly. Let's take two more. Our guest is already here. Welcome. Let's hear you quickly.
Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Dear, you know, yesterday when you were giving it to our government, it was sweet. Today, it's the other way around. Your CDs here. Yesterday you were on UPS.
My man, those things, to be very frank, and I'm past that level now. I got time for those things.
Yesterday, tradition was broken. Tradition was broken yesterday. It has been the practice that the president marched and observed the army. Unfortunately, we saw.
But Eric, it is understandable if the president has mobility issues. Then it is understandable. I don't think it is a problem.
They don't want to say it, but the truth of the matter is that our president is aging. He cannot cover those distances he used to cover yesterday. It's a glaring truth. On the issue of those that are suspended. I think the president should have dismissed those people. Because, Julius, the president gave a directive and the people know his instruction. But forget about the numerous people you found for the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You know what pissed me off? 11 persons from the president's office, Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, right up beneath his nose, defy him and said they will not. And he said suspension. Every time he suspend people, he gave them some kind of something. Let's go to the Supreme Court. Julius, the Supreme Court put us in this problem. How is it that a single justice will go and interpret the opinion in Nima County, but the entire bench chose to confuse this nation? How is it possible?
Okay, thanks.
Lastly,
No, because of time, we have to take this one from international. Welcome, let's hear you. Hello. Is he hearing me? Hello? I don't know what's happening. Hello?
Hey, Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello? Yeah, I'm hearing you, Julius. Hello?
Just listen to the phone and not the monitor. Yeah, there you.
Hey, Julius, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead quickly.
Eric Kennedy here from Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm constrained to join you in the combination of the reckless action by Colette Bond County.
Go ahead.
And I just want to encourage you to continue your advocacy. And let me just tell the whole nation and those who are listening that Liberia went to war not because there was no electricity on the road, war because of same prices that are now reaching the upper heads in our new dispensation. Colette and the rest of the folks have to understand that when citizens start to take law into their hands, and they will not have space to be going to work at the Capitol building. That lawlessness has been condemned. And people got to stop. The country is sliding into chaos, and everybody thinks it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Thanks so kindly, Eric Kennedy from the U.S. Let's squeeze in the final one. Welcome. Let's hear you quickly.
Yes, hi Julius. This is Cyrus McGee. I'm calling you from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the U.S. I'd like to say thanks for the opportunity to have my views here on your show this day. You talk about three very, very cardinal issues. Let me begin with the issue of the anti-corruption commission. I think this clearly shows the weakness on the part of our president. Julius, we were on this show before calling for President Barker to make sure it happened. You went to cabinet meeting, you reminded those people. Came back, gave them 2 months ultimatum. It's been 4 months. You are just coming now to suspend them. I think the suspension is way too weak, Julius. Let's put it that way. It's way too weak for people who disrespecting the president. Going forward, it is important that the president takes a new turn. When people are nominated, getting confirmed, before you commission people, let them go to LSCC, do the needful. Or else we'll still be at this point every time, Julius. And it doesn't show well for our country.
Okay.
On to the issue of Colette, you said it clearly. This is teaching our young people, that you can do anything all of the confines of the law. Nelson Colette is not higher than or how you call him, Representative Colette is higher than the law. No. On a holiday that you should be there at the BTC or wherever to observe the commemoration of our armed forces day, you are there carrying out ruthless act against the office of the third most powerful man. Just especially the days after, the judges in chamber in charge of that particular case clearly said what he said. It shows you that it's about time that we take a step back, demand the court to close this thing.
Thanks so kindly. We'll hold you that. Let's squeeze in LWSC Managing Director Mo Ali. Just 1 or 2 minutes quick. Welcome.
Yeah, so it's just about this issue of the Supreme Court justice. I hope I don't get in trouble. Well, the first thing I know is that the Supreme Court justices, when they go on occasion, I don't think they're where they can issue Supreme Court opinion, number one. Number two.
No, and no one said that.
Yeah, I'm just giving my opinion. The second thing, Julia, is that everybody ran to that court because we believe in the court, because we believe that the court should make ruling clear to us. But when the court rules and confuses everybody, then people just go and interpret it their own way. And the court being clear, the way the Supreme Court justice were clear what that they meant is the speaker, and that's why everybody wanted to hear whether who was the speaker or who was not the speaker. If he was the speaker, then the other men will go and say, okay, see you the speaker, you say you can resign, we will not can sit down under you, they will be doing that stuff over there. But when you leave it to everybody's interpretation, that's the problem. Now they have a bit of information before them to put this issue to rest, let them convene and interpret this bit of information.
Okay,
That ruling so that we move on.
good, and that's it. So I will count on your own case tomorrow. Why you went for to LACC?
Oh no, so
no tomorrow. No, I'm just saying you tomorrow we'll come on and maybe I will call you.
Yeah, we should discuss that tomorrow. Okay.
Why do your CEO go for the LACC? We'll see tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, we will finish with the calls now. Orlando Doe says, taking into consideration what the Associate Justice said, no court will have given them an evasion order. Sad for our country. And yeah, so that's why I meant desire to go break through it. You were right. Jalo Mohammed says, thanks for excellent service to the country. Your analysis is quite to the point. The Supreme Court ruling was very clear and only two people got confused with it. Those lawyers who want favor from government, those that look at the ruling from the political lenses. And overall, Mr. Boyka accepted and authorized lawlessness by accepting the misinterpretation of the Ministry of Justice. Thank you. Okay. I write to remind George Bassett that the ambiguous ruling they passed in the House of Representatives crisis ignited a potential conflict. All of what we are witnessing now are results of that ruling. A decision coming out of the Supreme Court must be clear and for everybody to understand. Bailey says that, and everybody saying just that same point. Joseph Nyankun says, but we saw people in khaki uniforms during the clearing of Speaker Office. Who were they and where did they come from? Well, I do not know. I was not there. So again, as we segue over, we play the voice of the justice, and it is very clear. And I made the point that this justice was speaking just last weekend. I also made the point that they did not attend the Sonam because they believe they think the Senate people to go correct. The people didn't correct. That's why he said the other side get quorum, but he ain't get speaker. You all get speaker, you don't get quorum. He made it clear. But the other man calls it. Don't take it easy. You shouldn't get vet. You can only get vets or some you can get in car. You say the drama change OKFM because I own air, but that's not your business. You know the truth. I can just talk it, but at the end of the day, you can stay casual. So you just leave it. Yeah. When you vet, just leave it. You shouldn't call. Because yeah, we are very rational. We do rational things. Arthur King from Safe Insurance Brokers is with us. Yeah, to be very honest, I've not really understood what they do. So all of us are coming to learn from Arthur. Arthur, welcome.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to the listening public as well for staying tuned in to be able to understand how insurance works from an insurance broker perspective. Thank you very much. My name is Arthur King, and I'm the CEO. Please come closer to the microphone. My name is Arthur King, and I'm the CEO of Safe Insurance Brokers.
Where do you have your office?
So our office is situated in Cinco, adjacent Monroe Chicken. So right between AMI and Monroe Chicken, and directly opposite the Equas radio station.
Oh, okay. Just right.
So we're right in the heart of Cinco.
Yeah. Yeah. So how is everything going? Is it you want to give us some understanding of your business, like a rough number of employees and all of that? Because I think it is a Liberian company, right?
Yeah. Well, things are going very good. I mean, it is a Liberian company. I have worked as an insurance broker for the last 14 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And imagine you look young.
Yeah.
So if you're working in brokerage for 14
years. So I work as an insurance broker for the last 14 years, yeah.
Okay.
Took some time off, went to school in Sweden, and I'm back again now, basically steering affairs of my own company. We've got 4 employees. I make it 5. So we have a marketing relations officer. We've got an account officer as well. And we've got claims officer, because I mean the beauty of insurance is basically about the promptness and effectiveness of settling legitimate claims.
Okay.
So yeah. And we are a fully Liberian owned company.
In the near future that could expand if if things go well?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. We are looking more into underwritings, but yeah, that's for the near future, like you said, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this whole insurance broker thing? Why is it important?
Yeah, so basically, a lot of people struggle to understand the issue of insurance brokers. So we've actually come here today, even though we represent Save Insurance Brokers, but we've actually come here today to provide some enlightenment on the issue and need to deal with insurance broker. So an insurance broker work as an intermediary. So we work between the client and the insurance company, but our role is to seek the client's interest. And how do we go about seeking the client interest is one, we've got multiple access to insurance companies. Unlike an insurance agent who deals and work for an insurance company, we as an insurance broker, we work for our clients. So that puts us in a better position to use our leverage on behalf of our clients. And as an insurance broker,
let's try to break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So there is the insurance company.
Yep.
There is me.
Yep.
The customer.
The client, yeah.
So what is your role there?
So our role here is, insurance is a technical field. And as a ordinary person, when it comes to insurance, dealing with an insurance company, you might not have a full understanding of how insurance policies worked. You are basically trying to look at price from the onset and not looking at the implications or the consequences that come with basically low barest minimum insurance premiums. So we, as an insurance broker, what we do, we are like a client lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we do. So in our role, we are to identify proper insurance company. When we talk about proper insurance company as an insurance broker, are insurance companies who are able to settle legitimate claims as and when the need arises. Because as we are all aware, the beauty of insurance is about insurance company paying legitimate claims. So in the absence of insurance company paying legitimate claims, then insurance is basically a couple of sheets of papers that you are taking and just have them and make some payments. So dealing with an insurance broker is really advantageous because one, we have industry knowledge with over 14 years of practical insurance experience. Two, we have a market leverage which brings about advantage to you as an individual client. And that leverage can be used to be able to obtain a competitive premiums that you are not likely to get from an insurance company dealing with them directly. But one of the key things we take into consideration is service delivery. And how do we go about with the issue of
before we come to that.
Yeah.
So they have insurance agents.
Yeah.
Then you are broker. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between the two?
So the difference is really simple. So insurance agents are basically people who work directly for a particular insurance company. And what that does is that they are limited to get you multiple options and be able to scan the market and compare premiums and policy conditions to see if those premiums from various insurance companies and policy conditions are in your interest. On the other hand, insurance brokers, which we represent here today, is an independent insurance advisory body where we have access to all of the insurance company in the market. We are able to get you competitive terms from multiple insurance company, relieving you of that burden of moving from one insurance company to another just to get quotations and be able to analyze. An insurance broker, we work directly in the interest of the client, unlike a insurance agent whose work under the guidance and supervision of a particular insurance company.
I see. So why should I, as a person, come to you rather than just going to any insurance company directly to do whatever I want to do?
Yeah. So the reasons are really simple. One is, with our market leverage, we're able to get you competitive terms. Two, with our industry knowledge, we understand the insurance market. Three, with our industry knowledge as well, we know insurance companies that are in the financial position to pay claims. Because insurance companies who are having good reinsurance support are easily able to settle legitimate claims as and when the need arises. But you dealing with an insurance company, you might opt for a policy and do not have a full understanding of that policy. In an event of a loss, because you do not have a full understanding of that insurance policy, you might at times fall into some issues, and you will go back to the insurance company and you are like, for an example, you have a comprehensive insurance policy. The first thing, as a lay person who does not have adequate insurance knowledge, comprehensive means a full coverage. But with insurance, comprehensive has limitations. So we as an insurance broker, our role is to tell you about those limitations from the onset of the insurance policy so that you are adequately covered, and where there are gaps in those policies, our role as an insurance broker is to provide you with the necessary advices that we are able to use and close those gaps so you stand a better chance of making a claims and being compensated in an event of a loss.
So what then do you do? What kind of insurance services do you offer? What sort of things, if someone wants to be insured for or to have an insurance policy, they should come to you?
Yeah, so we provide general insurance broking. What that means is we assist clients to obtain medical insurance policies. We help clients to get a adequate assets or risk insurance policy. And with the alarming fire situations now in our country, we advise private homeowners to be able to take up fire insurance policies that is able to protect you in an event of a fire that is likely to lead to damages on your property. As we're all aware, the kind of country we find ourselves in, we struggle to build our homes. And without having these financial support, which happens to be an insurance coverage in an event of a loss, you are likely to start all over if you're not having a strong savings to be able to recover. And even if you have a strong savings, that savings would have been diverted to other investments and not been used to rebuild a property that you've already struggled and use your hard-earned income to build.
Let's talk about businesses because they do some of the big insurance and all that stuff. How do you, and they have a whole lot of risks associated with what they do and all of that. The other time, just a couple of 3 weeks ago, one supermarket was gutted right on 19th Street. So how do you help these the businesses to manage the risks?
Yep. So what we do for businesses, and the first thing is we first of all reach out to businesses and we provide free insurance audit. How do we do that? We ask you for your existing insurance policies. And the free audit, what it entails are, one, to be able to access your existing policy and see if it's adequate enough to be able to make a legitimate claims in an event of a loss. Two, what we do, we check the policy limits, policy deductible, and based on your operations, we're able to advise you on adequate policies to take that is in line with your operations. You might be obtaining policies that are not relevant to your operations, making you to increase your insurance budget. But we as a professional insurance broker, based on the nature of your operations, we are able to review your policies in line with your operations and advise you adequately what are the policies that are necessary that are in line with your business operation, saving you cost and also trying to put you in a better position. Maybe doing our audit, we identify some gaps in your policy. Fortunately for you, if there are no losses prior to us conducting a free audit, which gives you room to be able to amend your insurance policies, we make those recommendations to you, and we're able to work with you and the insurance company to be able to make the provisions for amendment to the existing policy, which puts you in a better position to be able to make a claim in an event of a loss.
That will bring me to the point. I will have my money to do my insurance. Do I need to pay some more money again to insurance brokers and all of that? Are you people expensive?
Okay, so that's a really good question, and I mean that's the question we always like to answer. So as an insurance broker, we come with no additional financial burden to you. We get paid on commission. So a typical example is if we are doing a motor policy with company A and your insurance premium is, say, bulk figure $250, we are able to get you pay $250 to an insurance company, or based on our market leverage, we're able to get you pay something slightly less because we as brokers, we've got discounts with insurance company because we do businesses with them in volume. And based on that, you are actually not paying us any money. So we relatively provide free services to you as we obtain fees from the insurance company where the business is being placed. Okay. And the good thing is we do not come with any financial burden to you, but instead we come with extra value and value added services, which makes your insurance processes and your insurance procedure at ease to you.
Tell us some of the mistakes that people make when they go to buy their own insurance.
Yep. So there are several mistakes people make when they go to buy their own insurance. And some of those common mistakes are, you go to an insurance company, the first thing individuals want to look out for is the pricing. And yeah, I mean, we all understand with the economic situations and all that, it's really important to consider pricing. But I mean, pricing is not only all to it. Because if you're looking at pricing, you might get something very low. It's like buying a couple of brands. If someone is buying Nike and someone is buying a low brand or a non-name brand, you might think you're having the same quality. So going to the insurance company directly, you might first of all consider pricing because you are not being advised adequately by an insurance broker. So you move to the insurance company and just consider price and take the documentations. And we are not able as individual clients to view and understand those insurance policies, terms and conditions. So that's a mistake that a lot of people make by trying to engage directly with an insurance company and not trying to engage the services of an insurance broker, which comes at absolutely zero cost to you.
Okay. So, I know there are different companies around doing insurance brokerage. How can one find one that is actually trusted?
Yeah. So one of the way to look out for trusted insurance company is to basically be able to check their clienteles. And I mean by requesting the kind of clients they're dealing with, because we're all comfortable if we know people have a reputation, which is a good one for the kind of businesses they're into. So to be able to identify a good insurance broker is to be able to understand and ask for the kind of clients you're dealing with. And if possible, be able to request a successful claim settlement history, which we at Save Insurance Brokers, we are very comfortable to provide those information, because in the absence of that, for an example, I've worked in insurance broking for the last 14 years. So I mean, our name is a household name. So dealing with us, we're able to provide you with all of those things so you are comfortable to understand that these are the track records of insurance brokerage and save insurance brokers, and you're comfortable to know that if your businesses are placed with us, you are at ease and you do not have to worry about dealing with insurance companies.
Okay. His name is Arthur King of the Safe Insurance Brokers. You want to leave your number as well, just in case people want to
Yeah.
reach you people?
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So we have two numbers. The orange number is active on WhatsApp as well, and that's 0770 258520. And if you call that number, I'm the person who's going to answer you. And because we try to separate duties, we have our MTN number, which is managed by one of our staff, and that number is 0888 66 90 90. So 0888 66 90 90, and you are able to reach out to us on those numbers. And the good thing about it is, I didn't talk to Julius about this, but yeah, so we have this digital platform that we use to help ease your claim process, and that you can be in Maryland if you insure with us and your vehicle is involved into an accident. You do not have to physically come to Monrovia with the papers before you can file a claim. Once you have a smartphone, we have our website, which is published everywhere. You're able to check for our claims reporting forms, and you can upload pictures of the vehicle, the third-party vehicle, if any, and your driver's license, and we're able to lodge that claim to the insurance company directly, reducing the turnaround time and also keeping you within the claims reporting period.
So no, this is important before I take calls. So if someone went through you to do their insurance with a particular company,
yep,
and they have issues, the person doesn't need to go to that company. They come to you directly, and you do all the stuff for the intervention of the insurance company.
Definitely, yes. So as your insurance broker, we try to give you peace of mind. And what we do as a result of giving you peace of mind is to take that entire insurance burden from your shoulders. We will only need your cooperation. If you need to submit your driver's license, if you need to submit other required claims documents, we take those documents from you and process your claims on your behalf. And irrespective of where you find yourself, once settlement is being made by the insurance company, as part of our role as your insurance broker is to deliver your settlement check to you. If we have to send your vehicle to the garage, is to arrange with the garage and send you to a designated garage. So you've got absolutely no worry if you're dealing with us at Safe Insurance Brokers.
This is really good. 777-700-995, 555-995, the numbers to call. The international line is there. Call, ask him any question, make your comments. It's important, this one here is very important matter. 777-700-995, 555-995. I've been going on our Facebook page and see what is that. Let's come from here first. Welcome, let's hear you. Ooh. Yes, go ahead, let's hear you.
Okay, this is Dennis. I'm calling from Famoma. Yeah, I'm hearing you say about premium and I hear you talking about third parties, but that's the major issue in the plot.
Now, yeah. What do you want him to say about third party?
Yeah, because third party, when we issue our cars for third party, when something happens for the insurance company to come, it can be very hard. So I don't know where if somebody liaising with them, they can be settled such a case. Like when I get my third party insurance, when I have a problem, or if I use them to get my third, I can use them to get third party insurance. That's the question I'm trying to ask.
Okay, thanks so kindly as well. Welcome, let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Please jot down the questions. Yeah, go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, I think the situation I don't call. I don't have all of problem about the situation issues. Then we reflect sacrifice to the nation. I'll call the thing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks so kindly. Huh? No, he said he just called to tell me thank you for my sacrifice to the country. Yeah, but that's all insurance thing I beg you, my people. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julius. This is Daniel Brooklyn. And I've had the presentation of the guy in studio, and I think it's important because when you talk insurance, you talk life and tenancy after danger. So my question to him could be, my vehicle is insured, primary insurance, and I've already gone through because I just understood the importance of going through their company, and that way you will not just go for a price. You'll be able to ask all of the relevant questions before you can insure a particular company. And honestly, which I have not done, even though I have not had any damage since I started with the company I insure with. But my thing here now that I've already been involved for many years, I've been insuring my vehicle, and, with this company, how can this, can they get involved now, and, so picking up from there, just in case if there's some future occurrence, anything of that nature that will require their professional intervention. That's my question.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. He will answer. See, so yeah. Okay, let's see this out. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, how are you doing, Julius? How are you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for your opportunity. My name is Richard Greer. I'm calling from Bartonville. I want to ask a studio guest who is the reinsurers and how long this institution has been in place. Something that got us a little bit last in here is the number of employees. But there's someone who worked with the insurance area before. That's a specialized area. I just want to know who are the reinsurers.
Well, who are the what?
They are reinsurers. He knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Reinsurers.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about, and how long they've been functioning. Thank you.
Okay, but how many employees money mentor got? He got 10, 15, 20? Okay, no, I think he went off already. Let's take this final one. Welcome, let's hear you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you. I think your line is bad. Sorry, we'll go back to him to respond to the concerns. Yeah.
Yep. So the first caller, I think he was trying to clarify the issue of, I heard him make reference to insurance premium. And for clarification, insurance premium is actually the amount you pay to the insurance company in exchange of a particular insurance service. So that could be a motor insurance, it could be a third-party liability. But it was good you make reference to third-party, which is the compulsory insurance policy here in Liberia, which applies to motor vehicles. So the Insurance Act and law says that before any vehicle ply the street, you should take on a minimum insurance coverage, and that is a liability coverage. So what that liability coverage covers you for is damage to third party, and also bodily injury and death to third party. But whatever damages that happen to your own asset, in this case your asset is the vehicle because it's under the third party liability, you will have to shoulder that responsibility. So then the Daniel made specific reference to the fact that he already have a ongoing insurance policy. So what if he has decided to hire our services? Daniel, it's really important to even have the broker when your policy is already at inception, because that means you have an existing policy. So it's easy for us to be able to review your existing policy and be able to give you the necessary advices through a proper insurance survey and reports, so that you know where there are gaps in your policy, and we are able to help you tighten your current policy so that you're in a better position to be able to make a claim. And then the third caller, so how do you get us to work for you, especially if you have an existing policy? It's just to let the insurance company know through a letter, a 2-sentence letter, and inform them that you're hiring the services of Safe Insurance Brokers to be able to provide insurance brokerage services to you and manage all of your insurances. In this particular case, it could be only your motor insurance policy. But if you are a property owner, as in homes, we're also able to provide you with expert advice on what policies to take based on your property and what are the contents. Then the third caller made reference to reinsurance. Yep, so we are an insurance broker, so we do not require to have a reinsurer. But like I mentioned earlier, what we do is to ensure that insurance companies where we are placing your businesses are adequately covered. And one of the main way we can know that they are adequately covered is to be able to request their reinsurance support from the onset or from the inception of placement. So that puts you in a better position to be able to make a claim. So dealing with us, definitely you are covered with the reinsurance from the insurance standpoint, because if their reinsurance are not active and are not adequate to meet up with our risk appetite, we're not going to put you in harm's way. So we place your policies with insurance company after we vetted their reinsurance support and we gotten a clear response from them with confirmation from their reinsurers that they are in a better financial position to adequately cover you in an event of a loss.
Arthur, thanks so kindly for coming. We appreciate it. Again, you can leave your numbers and your address for people to contact you.
Yeah. So thanks for having us, Julius, and we really appreciate to come here and be able to let our people know and understand the importance of insurance brokers.
Yeah, and someone asked, how long have you people been in business?
Yeah, so my company has been in business for almost a year, but I have worked as an insurance broker for the last 14 years.
Okay.
So I come with a new company for almost a year with 14 years of practical insurance experience in Liberia and in Accra, Ghana as well. So that puts us in a comfortable lead with basically a team leader with 14 years of practical insurance experience. And then I was saying for my closing comment, so I would like to thank you, Julius, for hosting us. And I think it's good for us to have these engagements often so our people get to know that you can have a government lawyer in this situation. We as the insurance broker, so we are not being paid by you, but we are there to help you understand the insurance policy and ensure that you are not being placed into harm's way in an event of a loss. And we have a couple of clients that are really reputable, and from those clients you get to know that our firm is a reputable insurance company. And one of our clients is the US Peace Corps. So we are the insurance broker for Peace Corps Liberia. We're also the insurance broker for the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission.
Okay.
And that governing body, I mean, as we're all aware, the steps they are taking in fighting corruptions. So if we are being selected through a competitive bidding process to become the broker for the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, then you understand we come with trust, we come with reliability, and we also come with peace of mind.
Okay.
So our offices are again situated between the AMI Hospital on the bypass, St. Paul 2nd Street, and also adjacent the Monroe Chicken, directly opposite ECOWAS radio station. Our signboard is mounted there, and you can reach out to us. Our numbers to reach out to are 0770-258520, and that's also active on WhatsApp, and you can test that number any time of the day to see if we're able to respond to you timely before trusting us with your risk. And also our MTN number is 0888 66 90 90, and with all of these services we're providing at relatively free.
Okay.
Would you mind giving us a try?
Thanks so kindly for being here. Let's take a quick break. Our next guest is also in.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belta, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as $500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on the UN Drive at Sayotown, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
It's okay, you can cry. I'm here, you can pour out your heart. Because I do care how you feel. Hey, because I know the pain is a real.
Economy by William Smith. You can find it on YouTube. Economy, B. Will Smith is right. You see that BEWILL.
I'm here, pour out your heart.
This is the OK Conversation. Next up, George Wisner.
Because I know the pain is a real.
Career diplomat, development man, businessman.
Wipe your tears and stand by.
That I'm big businessman, man, small businessman.
When your word is falling apart, call me, and you can count on me. I'll bring my shoulder when you need to cry. I'll wipe your tears and stand by your side.
I'll wipe your tears and stand by your side. This song is for you going through situations of life, trials and temptations. Call on Him. He's God.
I'm here, you can't explain. Because I do care how you feel. Because I know the pain is a real. The same it all complete. I'm here, you can't explain. Because I do care how.
I do care how you feel. Okay, let's bring that down. Count on me. B. Will Smith. The man makes goose on Breathe. Count on me. Woo, what a song. Now, George Wisner, welcome to the OK Conversation.
Thank you very much, Julius. It's good to be here. Just 2 days ago, I was here.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then I'm back. So it looks like you and Clarence are the only journalists that have succeeded in dragging me in the studio since the elections.
Yeah, we want to. we want to take it up a notch higher, especially in terms of diplomacy, development diplomacy, aid, and where is the war going in terms of, we're going to have a new war order, Trumpism, and all those kinds of things. So you have talked a lot. We want to take it to another level. What does Trumpism mean for the world order now?
That's a loaded question. It depends on how you see it. I think as time goes by, it will get clearer what the world is going to look like, or actually what President Trump's policy is going to look like and how it's going to affect the world. We know that some policy pronouncements have already unsettled a lot of countries and interests around the world. We are still guessing whether Mr. Trump is just playing to the domestic audience because he ran on certain campaign promises, and you have to give it to him that he has to be seen as fulfilling those campaign promises, or whether these policy pronouncements are going to stay, and if they are going to stay, how are they going to impact on the world and even impact on the United States itself? Because there is no policy that one espouses without an attending consequence to those. It may be short term or long term. As a policy person myself, that's why when we are formulating policies, we only don't do it for now, but we look at all of the ramifications. So maybe as we go through your interviews, maybe we'll look at some of those areas that I think my country, for example, Liberia, should be concerned about. I was on your sister program with Clarence, and we started to talk about some of them as they unfold. So, and the aim of these interviews is just to share opinion for policymakers who listen to your broadcast, so that we start to think seriously about this policy and how it's going to impact on us on the very difficult situation that we are already facing in the country.
Former USAID head Samantha Powell wrote this opinion piece, a guest essay in the New York Times titled "Killing USAID is a Win for Autocrats Everywhere." And she was the administrator of USAID in the Biden administration. So she says, "We are witnessing one of the worst and most costly foreign policy blunders in U.S. history. Less than 3 weeks into Donald Trump's second term, he, Elon Musk, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have halted the U.S., blah, blah, blah. In so doing, they have imperiled millions of lives, thousands of American jobs, sorry, this thing is repeatedly loading. So what that kind of explosive headline. Let's take it from the international level before we come to Liberia. How do you interpret that?
Well, obviously, it is coming from someone who's worked with UK and with USAID, and who understands the workings of USAID around the world. And I'm sure Mr. Trump himself is aware of it. No doubt he's surrounded by people who are Americans. It is their domestic politics that you're hearing. But Julius, I've often said to people, and many of my students are going to be listening to me, because I lecture, at least not this semester, but I lecture international development planning and also international finance and development. And those two courses are somehow related in how the current situation that we are finding ourselves, how we fit in there. And I often say to people, official development assistance from any country is not as philanthropic or altruistic. Let me use a simple word for the people out there. It's not 100% selfless. These assistance that are given to developing countries to complement their development efforts are in reality an investment by these powerful countries in their own national security interests, in their own economic interest, in their own national interest. So it's not all selfless. And I think any decision, I wait to find out what the review will be, because Mr. Trump is saying in the next 90 days they're going to be reviewing USAID's operations with the clear hope of either merging it with the Department of State or streamlining youth's spending abroad. So we will get the full picture of what this is going to look like in the next maybe 80 plus days. But we should not kid ourselves. America's support around the world, as welcoming as it is for third world countries, it's also an investment in America's own national security interests. So I think it's from that perspective that the former head of USAID was speaking. Julius, let me just give you a scope of what we're saying. For example, in the 60s, a group of developed countries decided that it is in their interest and in the interest of the world to provide development assistance or international finance to developing countries in order to help them meet their development needs. Some of the decisions were influenced by the fact that there were a lot of agitations around the world, and many countries were coming out of colonialism and trying to find their bearings as independent states around the world. And so these developed countries, who were once colonial masters, many of them, thought that it was important for them to provide, and they made a commitment to provide some development assistance. But over time, you find out that those development assistance giving were tied into their own foreign policy objectives. In the United States, Julius, when the United States gives you a dime, it is also tied to them.
She mentioned in this piece that it also gives an influence, the ability to have a say in different countries and all of that influence things.
Yeah, so it does give them. Let's draw a practical example for people to see. During the heat of the when I say Cold War, many of the young people now, including some of us, lived through the Cold War, but we're young, will not understand what we're saying. But let's put it to our current times. America's assistance around the world, say whether the assistance in the human rights and advocacy area, is intended to ensure that America's version of human rights, of democracy, is promoted and sustained around the world. The concept is that the more countries become democratized, the more they adapt America's values, America's principles, the less likely they will be to be hostile or aggressive to the United States of America. So American foreign policy objectives, as part of their influence building also, is to ensure that countries become more similar than them ideologically than different from them. So it's not all free. On the other hand, when America, or any developed country for that matter, and America is the largest donor of development assistance around the world, if America supports humanitarian assistance, maybe through food aid, guess what? Most of the food that is distributed as aid, they benefit American farmers because the American government go and pay for them from the farmers and donate them either through WHO or whatever humanitarian needs to other countries. So that money also helps sustain the American economy, helps sustain the American agro industry. The same is true for other American policies. So I can understand the frustration from that woman, and I don't want to dwell with it on it so much because it is part of America's domestic politics. I'm more concerned about how it affects Liberia. How can we, as Liberians...
it is also important to understand in the international context too, before we come down to the local context. So the way things are going, what could happen to countries like ours, Africa? Let's take Africa, for example.
Country like ours will feel the burden because our countries are still developing. They still depend on international development planning to meet their basic, their economic development needs. Take, for example, the United States of America spends almost 68 billion every year on official development assistance. More than, in 2023, for example, this figure that I just quoted is a 2023 official data from the United States of America. But out of that money, USAID took about 40 billion, which is more than 55% of the monies America spent on official development assistance. Now, USAID is one of the major, if not the major conduit of America's assistance to third world countries, especially in Africa, Liberia included. Some of the money geared towards helping countries to overcome their food security situation, to achieve food security. Some of them to build their health systems, education, and even the governance infrastructure.
Good. Let me read two paragraphs that support exactly what you've been saying in some of the questions I've been asking from Samantha Powell's piece. She said, USAID has enjoyed tremendous bipartisan support in the 6 decades since it was created by President John F. Kennedy and later authorized by Congress. During the previous Trump administration, efforts to significantly reduce its budget, blah, 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 blah. Many of us in the Biden administration believe that senior national security officials on Mr. Trump's team who saw how bold China had become in expanding its global investments and influence, and who learned the hard lesson from the pandemic that threats that cross borders can cause colossal harm, would recognize that USAID had become the ground game in U.S. foreign policy.
It has.
In the briefings and materials we provided to the incoming team, we also shared how USAID had expanded its activities recently in areas that are particularly threatening to China and Russia, increasing efforts to expose corruption, supporting countries as they try to renegotiate usurious debt they have incurred to China, and developing frameworks to diversify U.S. supply chains and expand critical mineral support imports to the United States.
You are right.
Which are essential to powering America's economic future.
You are right, and let us zero in that statement and how it pertains to Liberia, for example. Right after our civil conflict, our country was saddled with international debt burden of almost $4.8 billion, constraining our ability to access loan from anywhere for any kind of development assistance and even for humanitarian work. Institutions such as USAID fill that gap where the government of Liberia, coming out of a devastating conflict, could not even afford to expand health services, education, rebuild the civil service and its governance infrastructure. America and other countries, America being the largest donor, filled that gap.
Now, let me read you what I was looking for.
I'll keep going.
This is Samantha Power, the immediate past head of USAID writing. In fact, USAID has generated vast stores of political capital in the more than 100 countries where it works, making it more likely that when the United States makes hard requests of their leaders, for example, to send peacekeepers to a war zone to help a U.S. company enter a new market, or to extradite a criminal to the United States, they say yes.
This is what I was talking about, that this America's foreign policy, as they expand the influence as countries become more like America, aligned with America's value system and everything, they are more likely to become
subservient somehow.
Somehow,
Yeah.
I will use the word.
But they almost say when we tell them anything, they'll say yes.
Well,
that's
I will leave.
subservience.
I will leave America's domestic politics there, but I will use the word. Countries are less likely to be hostile or resistant to America's request.
I am now thinking about what would J.J. Rowell say? It just reminds me. But anyways, let's come to Liberia particularly. And Elon Musk, for whatever reason, going through all of the documents, singled out Liberia as one of the countries. There are different countries that single out for different reasons, but we were singled out, and our colleagues at Stage Media did a fact check, and they say he's right. There was a $17 million project, but let's see what he wrote on his X page. Among many other things, Doge today cancelled a $17 million project to provide tax policy advice to Liberia. Why would anyone think that this is a good use of your tax money? What does this mean for our country that we are singled out in such a negative way within the terrain of the Trump administration?
Okay, so let's clarify first the statement. And it is part of the whole USAID situation. We know that 5 years ago, under the CDC's government, in 2020, USAID signed a $640 million development assistance to Liberia. That the money was supposed to be rolled out over time. Last November, when President Borka took over and the new finance minister Gaffron came in November, an agreement was signed for $114 million. It seemed drawdown. So it means that 400 and some more million. Part of the programs that the American USAID was focused on were in four critical areas: health, one; education, one; governance; human rights and advocacy. Now, under the governance section, it was intended to build Liberia's capacity, the government's capacity in different areas of governance, including economic governance. I believe the $17 million sits in this because that $17 million was part of development assistance for to help strengthen the LRA and the Ministry of Finance. Some of that money was to help Liberia to increase their domestic revenue mobilization capacity. Part of it was also to help Liberia strengthen her decentralization program as far as revenue mobilization and revenue management is concerned around the country. So part of that monies was used to hire some of the best brains in Liberia working under the DAR program to be able to not just, the word is tax policy advice, but actually to help work alongside the LRA and the Ministry of Finance.
Let me just add up to you by reading what our fact checkers at Stage Media found out.
Yeah.
The lead U.S. $17 million project is to build on the U.S. Agency for International Development's local empowerment for government inclusion and transparency, legit, and revenue generation for governance and growth. Projects led by DAR to support decentralization, local governance, and domestic resource mobilization in Liberia. Lee works to improve the capabilities of select government of Liberia ministries, agencies, and commissions to formulate and administer sound tax policies, improve budget transparency, deepen decentralization, and improve service delivery at the sub-national level. We checked the U.S. Embassy website for further information. The speech given by Sergeant Affair, blah, 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 blah. Conclusion. Musk's assertion that a U.S. $17 million tax initiative by USAID had been terminated is true. The project was called USAID Lead Activity.
Yes. So your fact checker is right. So withholding or erasing this money will impact on us seriously, especially so as Liberia is moving, and we have ambitiously said that we're trying to grow our our domestic revenue to $1 billion.
But he's asking a question that places the country in a bad light. Yeah, if someone says, why should we be spending our money to support Liberia in terms of tax advice? I mean, read the comments under there. People are saying it is rather Liberia that should be paying the U.S. or giving.
No, I think what Elon Musk was saying, and I don't know his state of mind.
No, he said, why would anyone think that this is
I understand the
use
question. I
of the
understand the
tax?
question. I'm just trying to interpret that question. First of all, Elon Musk's question was targeted towards the domestic audience. He was trying to justify their actions and why, because there is a lot of opposition internal opposition to what is going on with USAID and the douche program headed by Elon Musk. So it was part of trying to reframe the discourse around what President Trump and his administration is trying to do with USAID. So that statement was not, I disagree, was not about Liberia. It was targeted towards the domestic American audience and American politics to do that. But the fact of the matter here is you can already see how these things are going to impact on Liberia. You just see the first example. Look at what is going to happen in the health sector. Julius, do you know that in 2023, and me, I like data. In 2023, UNESCO estimates said that our literacy rate in Liberia was just about 48.5%. And if part of USAID's support is targeted towards the educational sector, it will mean that that gap that will be left will have to be filled by other means. Now, do we have the capacity in our already overcrowded budget space, national budget space? The question is no. Let's look at another critical area. USAID support to Liberia, part of that support signed, was focused on health. And we know from estimates, from the 2022 estimate of the health equity and social determinants of health assessment, that about 70% of Liberia have access to adequate health. That is a huge chunk, most of them in the interior. So these things, when they are coming, like I always say, let's not wait for the 90 days. And I'm sure Minister Gaffman is a smart guy. I will hope that his deputies, especially the ones that are in the areas of development planning or so, can start to take cue. The legislature has a main role to play in this, and other relevant policy makers in the government will start to look at the potential effect, start to make some adjustments so that we can alleviate the short-term impact or burden that these policies are going to have on the country. It is no joke. It is not a fun. It's not a joke, Julius. You can already see it.
Yeah,
that's
Ghana is already doing that.
Yeah, that's 17 million. I heard some people saying, making light out of it, where maybe they say we're supposed to be paid. It's a serious matter. Besides, people being put out of jobs.
Resign their jobs in other places to have taken.
That is the immediate impact. Some people who have been working. But beyond that, I like to look at the intangible benefits, long-term benefit. The fact that program was geared towards strengthening our capacity to expand our domestic revenue mobilization was good, especially so we have launched a development plan. That development plan says we have to raise $8.4 billion in the next 5 years.
With 70%
70% from overseas, not overseas, but external sources, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look at that 70%, you're talking about 5-point-something billion in the next 5 years that we have to. And a bulk of that external source will be official development assistance in different forms. In different forms. Of course, some of them going to come from private capital, like investment, public-private partnership, I suspect, in some critical infrastructure and other areas. I would suspect that is part of the mix. But in a nutshell, we are in for a difficult time under our already difficult situation. So it is important for us to start to prepare the minds of our public. It is important for us to start to prepare the minds of our policymakers to be proactive. For once, to think about the national interest, to think about how this is going to affect even the government's own ability to fund some of its programs. So this is a serious issue. I think we should engage the United States. These things are still in the review process. Somebody said, well,
no, yeah, because because USA's support for this year to Liberia is over, I believe, 100 million.
114 million.
Yeah. So when he singles out a particular project and said this other one we are canceling it. It means the other projects there, but they're only telling he's only revealing one of what they're already canceling.
Yes, and so this is why we should now, what a good planner would do now, a good policy person would do to say, well, you said support to Liberia. What are the areas that these monies are targeted towards? We identify those areas on the board. How much of USAID support goes to this area that relieves our budget? We mark that. What is the impact? Do we need to continue to fill the gap, or do we need to redefine or shift to other priority areas? So these are some fundamental questions that we have to start to ask ourselves now.
There are others considering pivoting to China, Russia, and other countries for the same aid. What beyond aid? What does this say about ourselves? Because if you listen to some of the rhetoric coming out of Washington, they will tell you that these countries we sending all these monies to help. They have resources. They have human beings there. They have everything that they need to be prosperous. Why should we keep sending them money?
The long-term solution to our socio-economic development is to look inwards, to strengthen our capacity, our governance capacity first, our ability to govern ourselves in a transparent and accountable manner, so as to cut down some waste and other unnecessary things, and to redirect resources on areas that are critically needed and that build the capacity of our people. So the long-term solution is to look ourselves and is trade to develop our own capacity. But Julius, let's not be sentimental about it. What is really needed, we shouldn't be aid dependent, but we should be very practical. One of the things that I learned in school from one of my development teachers, when we were doing overseas development, some of us were very, very sentimental that our countries are rich. We have mineral resources, we have endowments, we don't need official development assistance from anywhere. That's not true. In the immediate future, we do need some external assistance to help us get there. We do need to develop some critical infrastructure and other things. Does that mean that we should be 100% reliant? I would think no. Probably what we can do now is to start to think how we can leverage what we have as our advantage to be able to get us where we want to go with official development assistance. Because the more we build capacity, the less dependent we will be on aid. But for now, we need it both. So I think we should be humble, but we also should be practical. We should be pragmatic. We should engage those countries that are favorable to us. I know you talk about Russia and China. I'm not at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I don't know what the thinking of the ministry is or the government's own plan. is. But I would, as a private citizen of the Republic of Liberia, I would, as someone who has worked in that area and who has some experience in other areas, and as a lecturer myself, to say, let us trek gingerly. We have to be also cautious.
But should we also pivot to other aid providing countries? And
I would
now
think
concentrate
I
on-
would think that we should start to emphasize more trade. We should try to emphasize more our ability to govern ourselves in a way that will strengthen social cohesion, in a way that will cut down greed and corruption and unnecessary spending. We should try to be strategic and prioritize those areas for support that will have the multiplier effect of stimulating other areas of economic activities. We can start to do that. But to use this to now start to say, we don't care, since it's almost like a beautiful lady in the town, you won't say, okay, since you're bluffing, you want me, other men want me too.
Yeah.
I will go to them. So you got to be careful. Yes, a lot of other men will want you, but you also have to know the implications of just going. It's not just any man out there, and the word has changed, Julius.
Yeah,
The word has changed.
But can the United States itself survive as being the superpower? Can exert its international influence in the absence of being an aid giver too?
No, the world is, we are living in an interdependent world. In as much as the global south welcomes development assistance from the global north also depends on the global south for some of their primary products that they rely on to continue to sustain their own development status and their own influence around the world. They also need the support of these countries in critical areas of decision making in world politics. So it is a relationship. I would not say it's an equal relationship. Yes, an unequal relationship. Yet it is a relationship that depend on one another for support. So I don't think it is all that the global north does not need us. They do need us. They know that they need us. And I strongly believe that official development assistance is not going to be cut off from the United States. I strongly believe that USAID is not going to disengage from around the world. It is not. Just too many things at stake for the United States of America.
Before we go to the lines, deportation is a part of this. Some Liberians, whether undocumented or people with criminal records, are either getting deported or will get deported. How should government deal with that kind of situation?
Firstly, it's unfortunate that our brothers and sisters, some of them, will be deported at a time where the country is ill prepared to receive them. The economy is still struggling. We still have a very small middle class. In fact, one of the smallest middle class on the African continent. A couple of years ago, the African Development Bank Group estimated the Liberian middle class to be around 4.8% of the population, which is one of the smallest on the African continent. Infrastructure is poor. The health services are poor and everything. So you don't have much to return to. More than that, many Liberians back home have depended on remittances from abroad. In fact, in the last 2 years, remittances have almost equaled the national budget. We think that it is going to hurt us to have many of these Liberians deported here. I think there is still room for engagement. There is still room to leverage our traditional relationship with the United States. There is still room to look at other means by which these things could be delayed, or there will be pathway provided for some of our citizens to tarry a little bit in the U.S. But Julius, I was about to say to you that what is happening to the U.S. Is not something that we should be all jittery as if this is without precedence. In 2020, there was a prime minister in Great Britain called Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson was a radical conservative. When he took over, he decided that DFID, he was going to merge DFID with the Foreign Affairs Department so as to streamline Britain's development assistance to ensure that it aligned with their strategic interests, it aligns with their objectives around the world. A lot of people have apprehension the same way. I mean, people were asking what did that mean for countries that were dependent on DFID, to achieve some of the development goals. As it turned out, DFID is still there. DFID is still providing some support to countries. I believe it's the same thing with USAID.
Okay.
It's going to be streamlined, but it is a lesson for us now to start to utilize these development assistance, no matter how little they are, but look within more, build our capacity more, get serious about taking our people from poverty, and get less busy with ourselves, with the greed, the corruption, and everything.
Let's take some calls on 0777 700 995 555 995 995. The numbers to call. Welcome. Let's hear you. Good. Hello. We're not hearing you there. Hello. Hello?
Hello, Julius.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, so this is Janice Domini. I'm calling from people. I want to say thanks to our studio guy, Charles Wisdom. But diplomat speaking, a lot of political questions he's trying to ask me, he's trying to answer the question diplomatically. But something I want to say about the USAID is, if you want to know that, even about the whole booster, you feel a maximum control in mind. So, if America say, if Donald Trump say, according all users supposed to all other countries, what will happen?
No, they didn't say they're cutting over. They have paused it to review it and see which ones they can cut down on.
Okay, let's say a result to cutting off, right? Let's say a result to cutting off, right? What will happen? America will now have voice all over the world. People will begin to be arrogant against America because they'll be looking up to other countries that are a little bit powerful, like Russia or China.
But why we alone will be looking up to other countries now? We can look up to ourselves. But thanks so kindly.
Nobody is an island.
Yeah, but our own island too. You be stretching our hand for other people to give. But thanks so kindly. Let's take this one quickly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
David Cote, my name, and let me say good evening to my friend and brother in studio.
Go ahead.
There's a book written by Robert Greene. It's called The 48 Laws of Power. Law 25 of that book says, recreate yourself. It simply means when one door closes, open up another door. That other door does not mean we should run to China or run to Russia or Kenya, wherever. We should start doing something now for ourselves. I think what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are trying to do is that they're trying to make us to be independent. I heard Donald Trump very clearly on one of these short TikTok things they have there, where he said we are too lazy in Africa. We must stop being dependent. This country is rich. We can make it. But I agree with my big brother that that's his view. That will not happen overnight. This depending on ourselves will not happen overnight. All we got to do is to start doing something now.
Okay.
We must stop stealing. Yes. We must stop stealing. The biggest corruption in this country is unequal distribution. One group should stop eating too damn much.
It's okay. You shouldn't use certain words, but thanks so kindly. You shouldn't use the Sunday school words.
Damn,
it's okay. Don't use it. Yeah, but we want you to use it. Yeah.
Okay, yes, don't use it here, but it's not an insult.
Yeah, but it says so. Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Julius, and good evening to Mr. Wisner. This is Steve Benjamin Myers. I followed the conversation and I think it is interesting. And that's the quality of conversation that we like to listen to, because oftentimes It helps to broaden our horizon on the dynamics of our global politics and what decision that we should take in the immediate as a nation and people to ensure that we fit into the changing reality of things around the world. I think the speaker struck a chord that even though the scaling down of the USAID project globally may have an impact on us directly, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we should throw ourselves at other people simply because we want to have aid. I would encourage the country to explore the possibilities of establishing strong diplomatic relationships across the world. But however, it is a call to have a deep introspection as a nation and people on all of what we've gone through within the 177 years, to be able to determine the methods by which we can be self-reliant. We have all of the resources that are required to make a country a rich country and be important in the community of nations, but we've not leveraged the opportunities placed at our disposal to ensure that we register our name. So I think America scaling down its aid should not just leave Liberia running after other countries to get aid, but we should have an internal interrogation of ourselves on how we can develop new revenue streams outside the scope of the traditional revenue streams to ensure that we develop our country, we build our capacity, and we make ourselves important.
Okay.
So while it is true that we may need external aid in the immediate, but we should be looking forward to the long term as to how we can avoid
but sometimes what this aid does in the short to medium term is it makes us so dependent that we do not think about the future of moving away from it.
Yeah, but Julius, the main fact is that we cannot outrightly say we don't want aid in the name of wanting to be independent. It is not realistic in economic terms.
Okay.
We will crumble as a country.
Thanks.
We can momentarily rely on it while having genuine plans as to how we can self-liberate from aid dependency.
Thanks so
in the
kindly.
not-too-distant future.
Thanks so
I think
kindly,
we should look
Benjamin.
beyond. Thank you.
Thanks so kindly. We'll come back to our guest. Just 1 minute to go.
Thank you again, Julius, for inviting me on your platform. And I look forward to these kinds of policy discussions that will be beneficial to the ordinary Liberians, to policymakers, and even to our international friends. Julius, don't underestimate the power of your program. Even some of our foreign emissaries here listen to it, and I hope that they will spark some discussions on the importance it is to continue to have a relationship that is built on reciprocity, and that that official development assistance, while it is true that it's not the panacea to our development problems, it is very critical for us as we try to build capacity to get to where we want to get to. So we are still hopeful that President Trump's pronouncements are meant to streamline USAID, to review some of their programs, and to see which of those programs are in his mind
are fit for purpose.
And if those programs unfortunately affects us, we should be proactive and look in our budget and see how we fill the gap in the short term while we look for long-term, lasting, sustainable solutions to our problems.
Thanks so kindly, sir. That's how we go. Tomorrow will be another day right here. The news is up next.